Airports. At one time, they opened the world for millions. We were no longer isolated by distance. We could fly to distant lands in a fraction of the time it would have taken on the ground. It was a golden age. With so many passing through each airport every day, they became like cities unto themselves. They needed to be able to provide goods and services to the travelers who found themselves there. They were beehives of activity. Naturally, airports were also A-list strategic targets. When the bombs fell, vast numbers of them fell on airports, wiping them out in seconds. Austin's airport was no exception. A nuke struck between the airport and a local military base, destroying them both. There isn't much left of the base, but chunks of the airport still stand. Dangerously irradiated chunks populated by legions of ghouls. No one dares go anywhere near the airport anymore, but our crew finds themselves headed into the rad zone for the least probable of reasons. They have come to go shopping.
We are going to begin with Jett. Jett, let's go ahead and get everybody up so we can get Jasmine under the shot. Thank you, sir. The rest of these people are ghosts. They don't exist yet. So it's just Jasmine. And Jett, you have been invited to meet with someone named Terrence. Terrence is a fixer. Terrence gives jobs. So you go into a neighborhood, basically a bodega with a lunch counter. So it's because of the kind of place it is, the lunch counter is almost like a short bus bar because it is a lunch counter and they have food, but there's like a whole line of the terrible drinks that they serve in this place. Let's get a physical description. What does Jett look like?
Her hair is buzzed down to where, you can see some of the scars and stuff that she's obtained over the years. She looks to be somewhere in her mid-30s. She's got kind of a bulky build and that type of grease that you have on your hands that no matter how many times you wash it, doesn't really go away. She has like a bit of a gruff demeanor around her.
So you're wearing heavy leathers, right? So it's either armor or pretty serious commitment to style.
It's definitely armor. There's even parts of it where she's like sort of screwed on plates and little adornments here and there.
So no attempts to pass it off like it's style. No. Okay. And you have a bulletproof vest under that. The item on your weapons list you don't have yet. This meeting happens first. You do have a gun though. Would your gun be like in the jacket or at your side or
next to my whiskey?
So you sit down and just put it on the table?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's uncomfortable when I'm sitting down. Sometimes it pokes in my thigh or in my hip, so I take it out.
Yeah. So this is the kind of thing they call a heater or an iron, right? So you sit it down with a dunk. So one slight mechanical thing is it's an automatic. So when you fire, you do have the option to fire it full auto. So it's got a big nasty clip.
That's why I don't want to wear it when you sit down, because I knew a dude that blew his nuts off like that. So
he got himself a Tennessee trim.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, no good. The guy behind the bar, drinking?
Fiddling.
All right. Guy next to you turns around and you see that he is in fact an aardvark beastman. So about a third of the mutants in the wasted world are bestial humanoids. You've never met an aardvark before. So he's got the long nose and the whole 9 yards. The rest of them is sort of like rumpled, the kind of guy that'd be given cues in like a 70s cop show, that kind of guy. I'm Terrence. I think you are meeting me today. Yes.
Am I?
I don't know, but I was told to meet Jett.
Oh yeah, that's me.
So I was told you were a commander.
Yeah, a bit. I've been known to command people around. Most of the time, people just say I'm bossy.
Well, I have a friend who's in need of someone who's bossy.
Mm. Well, for the right coin, I'll boss around most anybody you want me to.
All right. How are you with ghouls?
Uh, well, I know how to barbecue them.
Ha! Excellent. So there is a place where my friend is going, where there are a great many ghouls, and he's taking a team into these ghouls and needs to be able to do his business without being um, torn into tiny pieces.
Mm. Yeah, I could see how the ghouls being there might be sort of a road bump in that
Well,
plan.
yeah, yes, yes. As you say, the reconnaissance that we've been able to do suggests that there are hundreds of these things. Uh, you don't mind going into a red zone?
Well, I mean, I do. I prefer not to, but seeing as how girls got to eat once in a while, I got to eat some irradiated fruit too.
Ha! Excellent. So he puts a little kind of doctor's bag looking satchel on the table. And so money in this setting are, they say, volts, which is batteries. So the batteries they trade not for the value as batteries, they trade them as representative currency with a value equal to the volt number printed on it. So he
Mhm.
opens it up, and there is a shit ton of batteries in there, of all various sizes, like little hearing aid batteries. Those kind of, I think they're C, not C cells, but C type, the ones, the flat ones, the coins.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it's easily like 3 pounds of just batteries. It is a lot of money.
Well, this is a dangerous mission, ain't it?
I so the employer, he wants your help to lead this team into this ghoul red zone to do his business,
Mhm.
and they need you to bring a vehicle. So
Mhm.
some of this, and he pushes it over to you, would be to acquire a truck or a van or something.
Do I get to keep the van after the job?
I would suppose so. The way he was speaking, he expects to make quite a lot. I don't think he's going to be sweating return of assets.
Well, I mean, good luck taking it back for me either way, right?
Well, and you'll be in charge.
Exactly. All right, you got yourself a deal.
Excellent, excellent. Uh, and he gives you the location of where to meet, and you head off to go buy equipment, including the nasty thing at the bottom of your weapons list. Um, Everybody except Jasmine. The three of you have arrived at the Freeze and Fly. The Freeze and Fly is by the airport. You can bring, used to be, you could bring your dog, and it was a cryogenic kennel. So when you were going to go on a trip, they would freeze your dog up and they'd rack it. And then you can go on your trip, you come back, they'd thaw your dog, give your dog back. So it's the kind of thing that is just outside. It's like on the borders of where the airport is. You know, there's all the park and rides are out there. There's usually 8 or 9 hotels that are actually full of prostitutes. There like 8 or 9 bodegas. There's like all the things that are like right outside where the airport actually is. And this is one of those. Um, there's usually terrible quality gas stations. Um, there were some ghouls here. You have shot them and killed them. You have Erik with you, and you had time. So approaching a place, having him look through his scope and just cherry pick ghouls was not hard, and there's no need for wasting time on die rolls. This is something Erik easily can take care of. Um, so Gekko,
Yes.
there weren't an awful lot of them. So far this area is abandoned because it is a red zone. So a bomb hit. So this is the Austin area. Well, you guys aren't from Austin, but we have a we get to live with the comfort that if the bombs drop, we won't have to suffer because we have an airport and a military base. So if you plump a bad boy between those two, you're going to wipe out a lot of territory and a lot of like tactical targets. That has happened here. So the three of you are now wearing, they've given you refractive outer like sort of ponchos for the radiation. We're going to assume each of you has one of those and probably just duct tape that up a little bit. Actually, Erik doesn't need it. So that would be both Gekko and D. So you'll be getting an extra die to your radiation saves if you need to make them.
Cool.
Spoiler, you will. I need, who's got the highest insight check? The most.
4.
I have 3.
4.
Okay, so let's have both D and Gekko roll an insight check. Let's start with Gekko, then D, because we have to do them in order in the roller.
All right. Ooh, 2 6s, 2 2s.
Nice. And D?
I think. Oh, okay, sure.
Okay, so Gekko. You're sitting in the lobby, and there's a waiting area, and there's like where reception would be, and then there's some machines which are, they've been emptied long ago. And you're going over your maps and your plans. Like you have out the big map. You were able to find a period map of the airport. So you're kind of planning your approach, where you're going to go. There are 3 different areas where they have where the automats are. So you're trying to figure out the best way to get there. And you have your computer, and you've got the period equivalent of a hotspot, right? Because there isn't going to be like, you're not going to have proper wireless here in the cryo dog bombed out hellhole. So you've got a thing to connect to. You can really test your circuit, make sure that you get through to the node that you reconnected last session. You do, it pings. For anyone who's watching this week who might not have watched last episode, they did a sort of reverse bank heist where they re-enabled a bank computer to be able to accept credit cards. And then they stole a bunch of credit cards, which seemed ass backward. But Gekko has a plan. While you're sitting there, you could swear you hear barking. So Eric's probably sitting on the roof of the place. He generally climbs to points with good vantage. So he's really sitting up there with his wife, seeing if there's anything incoming. D is probably right out front, but you're sitting like alone in the sitting room right now.
But I don't hear it, right? That's what
Nope.
I hear barking, and I don't like it.
Okay, so you hear him say that to you at the door, D?
Barking? I don't think we're supposed to be hearing barking here.
Do you go into the room with him? Give me a sense test.
Okay. Oh no.
As in, did you have the good sense not to walk into the room?
That should be a feat, right?
Let's just put it like D doesn't have very strong senses. Oh, dang it.
It makes narrative in character sense for D to walk in and be like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a room's a room.
So do you just stay where you are, Gabe, and wait for your ride, or do you want to go a little further into the building? Because if there was barking, it's further in.
Nothing about this is good.
Fun.
I'll move a little bit behind. I'm going to say like 10, 15 steps behind D, because if something goes wrong, D is usually at the forefront of it.
I like that you've inferred that you asked D to go first and have positioned yourself after the person you just told to go in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I like the way that you celebrate the Day of the Woman, to just push her into the room after this.
Hey, ladies first. Always.
You might as well be walking in there like this.
I don't want to hear it. You have a goblin man that married a shotgun, all right?
That's fair. D, go ahead and give me a insight test, please.
I will do that. We have better chances here. Okay. Yes!
So you hear the barking too, but it doesn't seem to be coming from anywhere. So, like directionally, right? You've been trained for combat. Normally, when you hear something like that, you're like, what direction? Where do I have to watch? Am I watching my 6? That kind of nonsense. You can't tell what direction it's coming from.
Can Erik hear me?
If you yell, maybe. I mean, he's literally sitting on the roof.
Okay, I yell, but I'm not going to yell.
Right. You're going to stage yell?
Yeah. Erik! Do you see a dog?
Erik looks up into the air like it might be flying.
So I think the one camera move that would make sense is panning up, and the sign is a giant dog with icicles on it.
No.
Can you hear one? We can hear one, but I can't figure out where it's coming from. It sounds like it's coming from all over, like an omnidog.
No.
Gekko. You go a little bit down. Well, you're following D in. It's colder further back in here, which is a little strange because it's advertised as a cryogenic facility, right? But there's no power coming to this building as far as you know.
This is bad.
We
have the cards. I don't like it.
We'll keep the cards safe. Everything that I've read about these things, because I had to read about stuff to know about the world now or before now, but everything I've read about these places says that the dogs were frozen. So if we're barking, this dog must be ancient or tired or diseased.
Or no longer frozen.
Wait! If they used to be frozen and now it would be so old, what if it's a ghoul dog and that's why it's coming from everywhere?
I take 10 steps back.
Considering you're already 15 steps back, you're now Erik. Gekko moonwalks back out.
Nope.
Just all the way back out the door.
Nope.
I yell as he keeps going. I'm like, is this what it's like to feel smart?
I don't want to lie to you. And I just don't say anything after that.
What's going on down there?
Erik, make a notice check for me, please.
Sure.
Cool dog. Hell no. Man.
Am I going to notice? Oh, I'm pretty good at noticing stuff.
It's one of your things.
Notice.
Ooh, I was very poor at it, though.
Well, the partial will make it, though. You see coming down the road, at a reasonable speed, there is a van. No particular markings. It does look like it's been armored up a bit.
Yeah.
So it have plates bolted to it.
Yeah. Hey, this dog sound you're hearing.
Yeah.
Could it maybe be automotive?
No, it sounds like if a dog died and his voice was transcending all sound. Like it's not coming from anyone where.
Well,
why are you okay with this?
Bear in mind that you're up on the roof and that D is a pure heart, really lost track of that. So the things she just said came across like this. And then there was, and this was the one was dead. What is it?
Gekko, what's she saying?
She said she's making potentially bad choices, but she wants us to be okay with it.
So Tuesday, basically.
Oh,
So
God,
D,
yeah.
you enter. So there's a front half. Then you go back, and there's a couple little rooms. There's probably where people pay money to get, Rover froze up. Then there's a back area, and there's like a little reception, like almost like a vet's office.
Yeah.
And there are some stacked actual kennels, but that's probably for when they're taking in or releasing. Like, so there's nothing there. And then there's a little door that's actually open.
Right, that goes to the back.
Staircase going down.
Yeah.
So it's probably on a second level.
Okay, I am
And you
definitely
hear the barking coming from downstairs.
I am definitely following it.
Okay. So, Gekko, you kind of look around and you see her turning the corner and just leaving.
Oh, I'm skipping.
So she skips out of your field of view.
That girl has the luck of the devil, and I will never understand. Oh, you get me, don't you, baby? And I look down at my credit cards.
You could swear they're smiling back at you.
Hate that, but I'm okay with it.
The van drives up, pulls around, and the person previously described gets out. Jett, the van, you're not sure its long-term fixer-upper prospects are all that great, but considering a mission, you were able to get it pretty cheap and put a little extra armor on it so it won't come apart. Your toy is in the back, and you would see at this point only Gekko. Gekko, would you describe yourself, please?
So Gekko is... If I was a little bit older, a little bit more rugged, got a shit-eating grin, and actually, if you look close, you can actually see that he has lupine eyes. There's a pistol on his hip, a box full of credit cards. You see a knife on his hip as well. He looks relatively well dressed in comparison to like other people that you've seen. It looks like he probably cares about his appearance. Maybe not too much, because there's probably a bit of dirt on him that he's not really paying attention to, not caring about. But it's strange to see someone look or put in this much work to be so well kept.
So that appears to be your ride, Gekko. And Jett, you were told you're looking
just
for
Indian Imperator Furiosa.
Yeah.
I'm so on board for that. So you were told to look for someone called Gekko James. That's who hired you.
From looking at this individual, do I get the sense that this is Gekko?
I feel like they probably said that he dresses like he cares too much.
Yeah.
Okay. So I hop out of the van. It has a wizard painted on the side. And a dragon, obviously. And I hop out and I'm like, I'm here for the job.
So Erik, you hear that exchange and describe yourself as you look down from the roof.
So Erik is short, like really short, but not like dwarvish short, just really exceptionally short. And he's kind of barrel chested, right? But not like unkept barrel chested, just kind of roundish and very hairy with long arms. His arms are way too long for his body. And he's green, which is one of the first things you'll notice. Another thing that you'll notice is that he's wearing an eye patch that covers his third eye. Basically so that he can see in 3 dimensions instead of 5. 5 gets really weird. He's a goblin that has sort of orangutanish features to himself. He also is dressed resplendently, but badly, but does not give a shit that it's bad. He is constantly chasing that like mid-60s Jimi Hendrix London vibe, and considers himself to be something of a mod, but to him that's like 1965 to 1990 because he has no idea what time was like. And he's got a great big old shotgun that he wears across his back that's named Karen, to whom he is married. And I think that's probably all you'd notice about him right off the bat, except for he's really cool.
That's it. Just that stuff.
I mean, you just notice that he's super cool.
You mentioned your arms?
I mentioned my arms.
Okay, I was just making sure. It's just sorry.
Tiny orangutan goblin man.
D, can I have a notice check, please?
No.
about it.
What,
I
can't we
really-
just? Oh wait, no, wait. No, I'm good at this. Don't take it away from me.
But you said no.
No. I take it back. Ah!
Oh,
God bless
I didn't-
America.
I need an endurance save, please.
Do you mind? I'm looking for it. Where is it? Sorry. Oh, yeah, I see it. Oh my lord. Okay. No, like not at all ever.
So it is almost unbearably cold down there. If you proceed, you will take an injury, but you have the choice to move back.
I will skip backwards out of pain.
One more insight check, please.
Okay. Yes.
So you know those like pleading puppy, please don't go to work mom sounds that some dogs make?
Mhm.
Those noises.
Down.
As you're backing away.
I skip forward.
So the close-up would show the goosebumps and the frost forming on your clothes. You
Mhm.
take an injury, so just black in one.
Okay.
You are now very, very cold.
Yeah.
And down here, there are racks. So picture a combination of like a dry cleaner. You know the dry cleaner rack system where they push the buttons for the clothes, and a Han Solo cryo freeze. So just have a bunch of like 4 foot by 3 foot panels with clips on the top on a big circular. It's actually not circular. They're almost like mazes because they tend to
Yeah.
go down and then up.
Kind of like in Monsters Inc.
Yeah,
The doors.
and
Yeah.
there are dozens of what appear to be dogs caught in those
Okay.
racks.
Okay.
Most of those, there's a little indicator bar at the top where the clip is.
Uh-huh.
Most of them don't have any lights at all, and the freeze dry package on those has leaked.
Ooh.
So they'll be sagging weird, and there's like an Icarus drip or a rot, but a few of them still have green lights.
Oh, okay. With
So that means there is power in this building somewhere.
okay. Can I? This is gonna sound so weird. It's so I'm neurodivergent in like real life, so I can
Oh, that's fine.
hear electricity. Can
Yeah.
I perceive electricity?
So
in
there is
this
literally a
world?
feat that the dwarven mutated race can have that does exactly that. They can like reach out and they can feel when something has charge. You are neither a dwarf nor have that feat, so no. But it's a thing.
Dang it! All right. Well, I'm glad I asked the question.
But you can see it because the lights are there. Unfortunately, you're not much of a tech. So being able to track it back to where the generator might be, and like there are a couple of like little stations where there someone would control the equivalent of getting your dress back or whatever. Like there'd be a little panel with but you don't know how to operate any of this. So you do know, however, that Gekko is a tech
Okay.
and a pretty good one.
So I'm just gonna like scream in the air, like I will be right back.
So as you're leaving, you could swear you hear little doggy whines coming from all the packets with the green lights.
I swear I'm coming back for you, babies.
So what's going on up top?
She's dead.
Yeah, so I guess I've climbed all the way down from the roof and I'm sort of introducing myself. And hello.
Afternoon. I like put my hand out very brusquely.
Oh, we're shaking hands. All right.
I have like a overly firm handshake.
Eric's into that, man. So
Squeeze it back.
Yeah.
Are we doing this?
Yeah, we're doing that, and kind of like,
I
but
squeeze it
it's
harder.
not like gritty. It's just sort of like looking at you and kind of laughing, but it hurts too, but like not in a bad way, you know?
Yeah.
Just sort of like that squeeze, like, yeah. All right. Ow.
I let go after an awkward amount of time.
Yeah. I'm Erik.
They call me Jett.
Of course.
I was paid a sum to acquire a vehicle, and I will be your sort of, what do they call it, tank commander on this journey.
When you say acquire a vehicle, was it
Mhm.
always yours?
Yes, that is true.
Oh,
Yeah, so there is some additional feeage involved for renting my services as well as the services of my vehicle.
Box rental fee. Kit
Right.
rental.
So, Gekko, just looking at it, there's obviously been some work done on it recently.
Mhm.
So whether it was her, she bought it, stole it, whatever, it's obviously been upgraded because the upgrades are recent.
Mhm.
So there's a few to simple things like it has freshly patched tires, which is a good idea anytime you're doing a mission like here where everything's got to be broken, right? And there's also, like I said, there's some extra armoring on it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it looks good. You know, what she brought to the party is the right thing to bring to this party.
Well done. Nice ride. I like it.
Yeah, this will get us through an ocean of ghouls, I reckon. I mean, it might not. They might just peel that plating off and then peel your face off. You know, could happen that way too. But
a young woman comes running out of the building looking like
Me. Hi. My name is Dee, and I am a pre-gen, so that means that I don't have like blemishes or any kind of mutations the way that normal people of the waste would, or mutants of the waste would. So I stand out because I look very, very normal by human standards. All the soft parts of my skin, like eyes, cheeks, lips, fingernails, stuff like that, are silver because of an incident from a couple of episodes ago.
incident.
People would describe Dee as the Wasteland's Kimmy Schmidt. She doesn't come from the world of smarts, but she does come from the world of feelings and caring, and has recently kind of like encyclopedia'd herself through the world. So she kind of knows like some things about some things that are sort of surprising, and then is very like not clued in on things she should be clued in on. So it's a little bit of a hit and miss with her. She's also an assassin.
With every one of these people, it's like, oh, by the way, there's also
And the way that it'll translate to something you could see when you look at her, because she doesn't wear like an ID that says, I'll kill someone, low rates, ask me how. But given that you're an experienced battlefield commander, she does come across a little Kimmy Schmitty flibberty jibbity, but she moves with grace and assurance. So she moves with someone that's someone that's combat trained.
So I like run very, like perfect formly and kind of do like a little slide into everybody, and I'm like, hey, ooh, nice to meet you. You're new. There's some dogs. There's some dogs.
Erik, she's got frost on her clothes.
All right, first off, hold on. And I kind of like pat the frost off.
Yeah. Yeah, she's actually got a little bit of frostbite on her hand.
Hang on, I'm going to need you to back up and explain, but do you remember the last time we had dogs? We ended up with a dog we couldn't get rid of.
Yeah, everybody loves a Winona's dog.
That is neither here nor there.
Listen, if you heard the noises that they were making, it's not even just one, there's multiple dogs down there. They're in bags, for God's sake, Erik. Bags!
Does it strike you that I would care about hearing noises from pitiful dogs?
Yeah, I was going to say, wouldn't it be better if nobody went down there and then nobody would hear the dogs and no one would feel obligated to help them in the way that you have thus been debuffed?
Where have you been for the last year of my life?
Ignorance is bliss.
So you're saying if you're worried
Assuredly
about the
so.
number of positive tests that you're getting, if there was, say, a pandemic, the solution would be just do less
Too
tests.
many tests. That's if there were less tests, there would
Boom.
be fewer positives. That's just math, Mike. Like that's how math works.
What
As
I don't
it
understand
stands,
is
the
why are there
in the
dogs in
basement-
bags?
Oh,
Because this place used to have, like we're by the airport. This is where people would put their dogs whenever they would leave. The world fell. People still had dogs here. They never left. So now there's bag dogs. A whole bunch of them are rotten and they smell really bad and sad. And I just went through emotional trauma. I might lose my pinky, like the tip of it.
Okay.
You really skipped like 18 steps in the middle of that. You said there's an airport and now there are bag dogs. None of that explained to me how bag dogs exist.
Oh, imagine you're pre-apocalypse. You gotta go on a trip, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you got a dog. And you're like,
you
crap.
shoot the dog and then you.
I am a
Right?
big fan.
I don't know you, but I like your spice. I'm
Oh,
not gonna say that I don't disagree. I'm just trying to explain to our friend Gekko here how.
oh, right. Oh, continue. I'm
No,
I'm
I-
not
like,
following the
I-
train. Like,
No,
you
I know.
lost? Okay.
I mean, listen, I'm not even opposed to going back down there and shooting all the bag dogs. I just don't want them to suffer. I don't.
Wait.
Hold on.
Did you say bad as in D?
No, bag. So
Did you
okay,
say shoot all the dogs?
back to the story. So if you're going to go on a trip and you have a dog, but you can't find anybody to watch him because you're alone and you have no friends.
So
what do you-
D, I'm gonna put an invisible light bulb over your head. She does this, looks all excited, runs in. You grab the flyer off the counter in front and run it back to Gekko. And so
Okay.
picture kind of a Fallout style series of like cartoons with things like taking a trip on a plane, have a dog and nowhere to keep him, freeze him up good, and they show like a Ziploc bag with a frozen dog, and it explains the whole process.
Can it be more like BioShock and the dogs are just terrifying and have powers?
No, we don't want that.
Stop.
We just bag dogs.
Damn
Shut up,
it.
Erik.
So it explains the process.
That's
It was really
horrifying.
very expensive.
Oh, so like if you don't have bullets or you're in a hurry and you're going on a trip,
You put them in a bag and freeze them.
you put them in a bag and freeze them.
I mean, that seems about right.
Like this.
Ah,
That's what they look like in there. And they're all hanging and stuff. It's super creepy. I just want to put them out of their misery at the very least. I understand that like adopting another one is another mouth to feed, but I
Well,
don't think it's
How
right to,
many are there?
gosh, like a dozen or something.
oh,
At least.
dozens, because you couldn't see all the way to the back.
And
Because
do
of how
you
those
think
racks are built?
do you think letting them go would cause chaos and havoc on the rest of this delightful land?
Almost assuredly.
It's not our problem. We can just take the credit for doing the good of saving them. We don't have to
No.
own up.
If you
responsibility of what they
don't
do after.
take credit for that. You don't get to pick and choose credit. I have learned that many times. There are many things that I have done wrong that I did not get credit for, and I never won it.
And yet, ironically, you walk around with a box full of credit wherever you go.
Hey, yes.
I just
You aren't wrong.
Okay, so back to the dogs. What are we doing? Because I am sad for them.
okay, look. If we end up walking out of this with everybody owning like 17 dogs, I'm going to be really unhappy.
Well, what if we let them loose and they like form their own pack, and then you had like a pack of wild dogs, then they could eat each other and care for each other, and that's kind of heartwarming in its own way.
You're a genius. I like you more. Please stay.
All right, I'm in.
You know what? Dogs don't care about credit cards. I'm down.
All
Nice.
right.
This is a horrible idea.
It is, but
It's so cold down there. Let's
Little
go.
Missy
You are not selling it.
seems very fixated on it. We need everybody on board for this next mission, and I think it would help for morale purposes if we took this
Actually,
little
you know
detour.
what, D? How about you head down there first and start letting them out, and we'll be right behind you.
Okay.
If D leaves, I'm gonna look at the other two and say, all right, just give it like 2 minutes. If we do not hear crying, howling, or dying, then they are not immediately hostile, which is important. If
I'm gonna look at you and just kind of shake my head, and then once again kiss you on the forehead and walk back into the building.
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea that Erik just leaves with the NPCs. Like, oh, this is my tribe.
She is delightful, charming, clever, and more dangerous than nitroglycerin in a shake box.
Fair. She's also going to have to make an endurance save again.
Wee!
All right, after like 2 minutes pass, I'll go in. Terrified, but I'll go in.
Endurance check. Endurance.
Okay, so the near miss will be enough. So you head down there. It's cold, and you hear happy dog noises.
I told you I'd come back.
So do you call up to Gekko?
Yeah.
She seems to be okay.
Okay, well, she's not dead. I haven't heard screaming. I guess we can go down.
So all three of you are going to follow her down?
I put my credit cards in the truck.
So you notice in the back of the van, there is some kind of big weapon with an oilcloth tarp over it.
Nope. Learn not to look underneath strange sheets. Last time I did that, there was a strange little man with a knife. Not doing that twice.
Right, is that your sheet? No. Okay, so all three of you head down. Okay, you all have to make, so we'll start with Gekko. Make an endurance check, please.
All right, endurance.
Left side of the sheet.
4.
The save. They're in like gray bars.
Hey, got my 6.
You're fine. And Erik, how about you?
Near miss.
The near miss will be all right. And Jett.
I got my 6.
So you all come down, and when you're done there, you are hearing. At this point, it's pretty clear, and it might not have completely registered with D. These are telepathic noises you're hearing. This is not like dogs making dog noises. Erik, this is real familiar. So this was,
man.
You were in a game that actually D wasn't in and B was in it. I think you're the only person here that would know. You were in a similar facility that was for people. And they had things like this, but this one is like the super cheap version because it's dogs, not people.
Yeah.
But the way it's set up and the way it is, like you probably even figure out where the generator probably is. If anyone listening is not watched like 20 episodes of this, there was a scenario about 10 episodes ago, maybe more.
No, it was longer. It was like the second or third episode.
Yeah, it was real early where they ran across people that have been cryo frozen. And similarly, there was this sort of the frozen people were reaching out telepathically, and there was ice and phenomenon.
Yeah.
But this time it'd be dogs.
All right, D.
What?
This is not going to end the way you want it to end.
We're not gonna each get like 5 dogs?
No. And I need you to leave.
Why?
You just have to trust me.
Okay.
Okay. So, and I can see where the generator is?
No, but you can go check. It might having Gekko help would probably help because he's actually attacked.
Yeah. So I turn to him and be like, hey, can you trace the source of the power?
Gladly. Let me see what I can do. And I'll start.
No rolls required. This is simple for someone with your skills.
Perfect.
So you would start with one of those little panels, and you would get like a heads up kind of, units 13, 14, and 16 are offline. Unit 17 is active at 30%. Like there's all kinds of those kind of readouts. And then like little bio things. Nothing in here is in good shape, but there are a few that are technically still alive. And yeah, you're able to follow that. There is another stairs at the back, and then below there's like an engineering room that has like permanent power, and that would be like real low cycle stuff that would be made for this. Like, I'm not going to put down my money unless little Nippy is assured that if there's a problem or a brownout, you're going to keep him frozen for.
Right.
So they're rated for decades, right? And you can easily hack those doors open. So you guys are you're standing beside a low cycle, high capacity generator.
Is there some sort of a shutdown switch that's apparent?
No, but Gekko could certainly shut it down.
Hey, man.
The thing that's apparent if Erik wants to make the statement is exactly what came out of the last one. There's like a big bundle coil of the connections.
Mhm.
You know, the big these were in all of the Star Wars movies. Like apparently in that future, you had to plug things with plugs this big, and there was a giant cable.
Right. Because nobody in 1976 could envision plugs getting smaller. Just
right.
larger.
Right. It was always just bigger bundles. Yeah.
So I turn to Gekko and I'm like, hey man, stand back.
You say so. I'll take a couple steps back.
And I pull Karen out and I make the statement. I shoot into the cluster of power.
Okay. So D is alone in the little waiting room. And this is very much like Old Yeller, right? They told you, go up, we don't want you down here. And you literally hear the repeat of the gun echoing from the stairs. Down below, I think the person who could see this would be Jett. So you're alone in the room full of Ziploc frozen dogs.
Mm-hmm.
There's a repeat of a rifle. There's some sparking. The lights that were already very dim flicker on and then off. So you're basically in the dark with just little points of green light. One by one, those green lights go off and are replaced by red lights. It's like tuk, 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 around the room.
Is there backup? What are y'all doing down there?
Nothing good.
Yeah,
Everything turned red. Is there?
No, we're good. We're good.
A mist comes up, and this is where Jett is, on the ground, and there's a bluish glow.
Are y'all sure? Because things getting a little funny up here. There ain't no lights, and there's there's a fog.
A what?
A fog of the indoor variety.
Oh yeah. All right, we'll be right up.
Don't say "oh yeah" like this is normal.
I've seen this before. Look, I'll explain it to you all at the same time, but I have been through this before.
A 4 foot at the shoulder, glowing blue phantom husky appears in front of Jett, hovering about a foot off the ground. We are Canis, and we are a good boy.
I'm amenable to that.
Thank you for your mercy.
Yup.
No, you hear it though, D.
Who is talking?
So you're gonna go running back down.
Yes.
It steps forward and it licks your face with a phantom tongue.
Who?
Jett.
Okay.
Not Jett,
What?
the dog.
The dog licks Jett with its phantom tongue.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Jett licks you in the face.
I was like,
The end.
I'm taken, but I like it.
No, it's so you now have a little ghostly ectoplasm on your face.
Oh, thank you kindly. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. This is a first. This is a day of many firsts. Are we done here? Can we? Yeah,
So
I hope you have a great night. All right. I hope you have.
We will be with you forever, Jett.
Please don't say that. I have commitment issues all up and down.
There is no way to be rid of a good boy.
Metaphorically, right?
Literally. And it shimmers and D sees it look up towards you and vanish in a very like ghost, like the little sparklies go up and away. Jett's face is glowing, like somebody splashed a glow stick on her.
And we walk up at about that point.
Exactly that point, yes.
Erik sighs really loudly and just goes, "Ghost dog."
What?
Yeah, ghost dog.
Yeah.
You too?
It was ghost people last time, but they needed to be put out of their misery. I'm sorry, D. I didn't want to explain it because it would take a lot of explaining, but they were suffering, I promise.
No, it's okay. I get it. Do you need a bandana to wipe your face?
I kind of like it.
It looks good.
It's like a little bit of war paint. I'm kind of curious what Eric's looked like after all those people licked his face, low key.
They didn't lick my face. It was a whole experience, but it involved one of us losing a taste for chocolate for the rest of their life.
That's sad.
What?
Yeah, Nevad's afraid of chocolate. I'll tell you all about it on the road.
So, okay, wait, Jett, do you have a really cool, like, force dog now? What's happening?
I honestly don't really know how it works.
Oh.
I'm assuming maybe
Try
it's
to
like a comic book, and if I'm ever in need, maybe a giant incorporeal.
Try to call him, because he said he was a good boy. Try to call him.
I'm gonna pull the camera back.
I feel like we have other things to accomplish.
And I think while you're driving and going to where you're going, occasionally the camera will go by the car, and we'll always hear D like, "So did you try calling his name?" Like, I don't think that conversation will end anytime soon.
What does
right.
Tom feel like?
She's got so many questions.
Miami mostly.
So, Jett, will you drive the van, or is someone else driving the van?
It's my wheels. I'm gonna drive it.
Key to this will be having the skill drive.
I believe I'm pretty proficient.
Yeah, you got skills. All right. Do you tell anyone about your baby in the back under the?
I just let them know I got a an oh shit contingency that I can deploy should things get a little hairy.
Is it a
in the
ghost cat?
field. Sure. It could be whatever you want it to be. You just gotta believe.
So I'm going to assume that up front, Jett's driving and Gekko is in the passenger seat, which means the two PCs are in the back. This is par for the course for this particular campaign.
Yes.
I like the idea that other people are having the adventures and you guys are a friendly group of NPCs that ends up going along on their adventures.
Yeah.
Up front, Gekko's showing you the maps. And as you approach, you see, so it's a little like the modern Austin airport or any airport in general. There's a hub. There's usually a second hub for international flights. Then there's arms that go out because that's where you get the jet waste for the planes. This particular one has three main outriggers. And you have figured out that those have clusters where they're the vending machines you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
But as you approach, you're looking physically at the space, and it looks like the bomb collapsed one of those three arms almost entirely. So that means you can probably get at two of the arms and get to the vendomats there, but the third one is just rubble. So a third of your income, unless you're going to do a lot of digging, unfortunately ain't gonna happen.
Okay.
Looks like one of the arms on your map right there ain't really accessible no more. What is that? International. It looks like that's not gonna be. We're gonna have to go domestic.
It's just a pain, and that's not what I was hoping for.
So you pass. I'm assuming that the two passengers are looking out, and they've got like bubble windows that you can open. So you're keeping a lookout as you drive.
Mm-hmm.
Erik, you notice here and there's evidence of the use of grenades or rocket launchers, because there's a little bit of cratering, and then there are piles of rotted gibbets. Like, if you had a whole bunch of ghouls coming, you just tossed a grenade, they go splat, and then they'd rot and harden. So there's here and there's chunks. None of them are recent, though. I think Erik has the higher notice of you and D, right?
I have 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and roll with an extra die for D, but you make the roll, Erik.
Oh, yes.
Awesome. Okay. There is something in the air, sort of pterodactyl shaped, circling the airport.
So there's a big thing above our heads, so we want to make sure that we stay low.
I believe that's called an awning.
No. It's alive. There's a living creature.
Oh, that's a cloud, Erik.
No, well, I mean, that's also a living creature in a sense, but I mean an actual threatening aviary creature, like a bird
or a plane.
or Superman, but any of those things are likely.
Does anyone have beast mastery?
I have 3.
What the hell you say?
I have a 1.
I have a 3 in beast mastery.
Let me try.
No, Eric's got the 3.
Dang it.
But again, you have help, so you can roll with an extra die, Erik.
Yes.
I can nearly master this beast.
Okay, so
in 3 notes.
With the near, you see its current range is beyond distant, and that means it's really big. You notice from the way it's flying, which is why I asked for a beast mastery roll, it is now circling the van in the way an aerial predator would. They circle before they descend.
Yeah. So it's pretty big. It's really big. And I'm getting the feeling that it's zeroing in on us.
Oh.
So
I don't think I got a harpoon on this thing, unfortunately.
Pull up my pistol.
Is there anywhere we can park? Are any of the parking levels still?
Why would we want to stop?
No, unfortunately, the main complex where you're going, there is parking, but it's back that way. Yeah. Your options are basically have her slow down so you can get a better shot. So you're going to get dice off for going too fast while you're driving. Or you can gun it and try to make it to a jetway and get inside. Or there are a couple of planes just sitting out on the runways. So you could theoretically pull up beside one, get out and get into a plane.
Okay. All right. So look, I have Karen, but this thing is much bigger, I think, than I can take down with a long range weapon. Does anybody else have any sort of like interesting long range weaponry?
I have a crossbow.
I don't know that will work.
Define long range.
Like something that might shoot into the sky and avert our disaster with this giant bird that is about to attack.
So it is currently at distant range, Erik. It is basically the size of a plane. It's the size of like
a jumbo jet?
Like a jumbo jet.
Oh shit. Never mind. Let us find an egress to find some sort of a hiding place and figure out a strategy from there.
That might be better. Someplace that can't follow us into.
So
we're like mice running from an eagle.
It'll be your choice, Jett, if you want to go to one of the planes that's midway, get out and hide in the plane, or if you want to try to gun it and get to the jetway to get into where you're going anyway.
I'm going to try to get to the jetway because I like that name a little bit more.
All right. So go ahead and give me a drive test.
This is horrifying.
So I believe I have 6 in that. Am I reading my character sheet correctly?
I can call it up. You have 6 dice, yes.
Okay. It just seemed high, so I just wanted to make sure.
No. The 6, generally you get between 5 and 8 in things you're really good at.
Okay. Oh, okay. I got one.
Phew!
So you hit it. So this is a follow the speeding van with the drone camera kind of a shot. A couple of little like handhelds, a lot of jerky motion as the van. All of this out here, the runways, it's all broken, right? Because it was hit by a bomb and then erosion. So you're doing a lot of like following, trying to avoid where the earth is basically opened up. So it's very much a video game level for a little bit, especially at speed as you're trying to get in.
I'm going to be ludicrous about shifting gears like they are in movies, just unnecessarily intense about it. They don't know this is an automatic. So that gearbox is actually not attached to anything at all. But
Nice.
I'm still going to be like, choo, 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 choo.
So if it's not making noise, it didn't happen.
You're very good at this.
As it gets closer, it's obvious how big this thing is. We'll actually have the shadow of it go across the van at one point. It is definitely the size where it could pick up the van and fly.
Go.
So you're going to see on the way a couple of little groups of ghouls. Ghouls, for anyone who doesn't know, which would be our two guests, and it's some people listening possibly, they are heavily radiation afflicted people. They've gotten to the point where their flesh is translucent. You can kind of see through them. And they're also, they have the textures of like gummy bears with soft bones. So, for example, we definitely were going to have you hit a couple with the van because they splat real nice. They're not super tough. They are very dangerous when large groups of them get around you. Again, it's a little surprising to Gekko that you had heard there were, it's like last season of Walking Dead was what you were told. It was just hordes of them. And you're not seeing that at all. So you pull up to the jetway. It is coming in. So
How far are we from the entrance?
You're going to be about 100 feet. So your choices when you get out of the van are going to be run up the jetway and go in up top, which is what Gekko had suggested, because that would get you up there and you go down there to where you come down to where all the stores would have been. Or you stay at the bottom level where there would be baggage and that would get in through where like engineering, all the kind of support stuff would have been. There would have been the drink carts in. So basically, do you stay down here and try to go in that way, or do you go up the jetway to that level?
Who's the fastest?
Who's got the highest speed number?
The highest speed number?
I think it's lower left-hand side. I think it's
I have 8.
6.
Okay, so what does Erik say?
Up.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So Jett, are you okay just driving like right up to the jetway and just letting them jump out?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Do you grab the flamethrower?
Yes.
Okay. So it's pretty clear what she has now, because she takes the big tarp off of it. She shoulders the thing and an auxiliary tank. One thing Erik knows about this is she's currently a bomb, because the auxiliary tanks are great because you can fire and fire and fire, but if it misfires, you explode. They're super dangerous. So you're running up the ramp next to a person with, high fructose corn syrup, and up you go. I need.
That just makes Erik laugh.
That's fair. I'm going to say D notices this. As you're going up the ramp, D, you look down, and they have those carts that are almost like cloth-sided mine carts that they throw the baggage into. There is one, but it's full of skins. So like dehydrated, empty flesh husks. And it's full of them. So dozens of them.
Well, I make this face.
So I'm going to make a roll here.
Or don't.
The creature comes down. Erik, are you going to shoot at it, or are you just going to focus entirely on getting in the building?
I'll turn and cover because I know I can cover a lot of ground with my climbing skill. So as it swoops down, hopefully I can distract it. I know I'm not going to shoot it out of the sky with a shotgun, but maybe I can make it angry.
At the top of
Wait.
Sorry.
Before you keep going, can I tell Erik, like, what if we push the skins?
So anything you need to say has to be like yelled quickly. Bear in mind you're running.
Yeah.
So you'd have to yell like skins or stop or something.
Yeah. If we push the skins, we can shoot it when it eats them.
Okay.
So you look down where she pointed and you see the cart full of husks.
I don't think there's anything to eat.
Make a medicine roll, Erik.
Okay, 4.
Y'all really want to fight Falcor? Like, is that what's happening?
Do you
I have
want to
near
eat
medicine.
So you think those are ghoul husks?
Which means they're not particularly edible. Bad idea.
Cool, never mind.
So Jett and Gekko get to the top. The door is closed. Gekko, you can hack this open if you like.
Yes, please.
Give me a hack test, please.
All right. That is 46.
Okay, you're gonna have to make a cinematic action to do any actual damage to this fucking thing. So Erik, you're gonna give me a shoot. You need 2 6s, please.
All right.
Ooh. 3, 3, 5, 4. That's a no. Near miss.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God, that's so many dice. Oh,
That is incorrect. I did poorly.
So the good news is it hasn't really tracked. Somebody made the comment about like ants or mice. It was tracking the moving van, not you. So it does come down and it grabs the van, and it and the van go right back up into the sky.
that's gonna make a vendetta.
Oh no.
Please tell me you brought the credit cards.
You put them in the van earlier, didn't you?
Now we have to kill a god. Oh well, what a shame.
I am willing
It's
to
also
say,
our only ticket out of here, so like we're gonna need those wheels back.
I think Gekko, to be fair, Gabe has been consistent about saying he's like hugging.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
he said he put them in the truck.
No, I know.
Hey, don't let him take this from me.
And I did
Gosh.
not hear him say he took them out of the truck.
No, he never did.
Well, you know what? That's because you never asked.
All right. Sadly, I think Danielle and Mike could push you onto the bus, so they have done so. So you watch the credit cards flying into the sky. So you unlock what part of the lock you can from this side, but it's been physically barred. So you're going to have to, somebody with strength is going to have to push the door open.
Who's got the most strength?
Has anyone got strength dice?
Yeah, I got a 6.
Oh, that's right. You're engineered and shit.
So can I do 7 because friends?
No, because there's not enough room to bring them in.
Oh man, I didn't mean to roll 5 dice. Hold on, sorry.
So
Wait.
does somebody call to D or something? Because I don't know if she knows that yet. Somebody like, we need someone to push.
Yeah.
Then?
Break the door.
Hey.
Okay. So she comes running up.
I definitely broke the door. Do I need to roll some more to see how badly I went?
No.
Roll damage for the door.
You got 2, so you break the bar that was on the inside, just snaps.
I broke the door.
Jett, she is like strong as like the weightlifter dudes they usually hire to be in Predator. Like she's got like the cinematic strength, so she's a lot stronger than she looks. Door opens.
Oh, I broke it. Sorry.
Please tell me you remembered the credit cards.
This silence was really long.
So there's a whistling noise.
Remember the credit cards.
And in the background, so we'd shoot this with the characters talking in the foreground, and then the open door, and then the airfields behind them. In the background, we see the van hit the ground and explode.
Hey, the credit cards.
We probably can get them now.
Now, fortunately, it doesn't have the cinematic easy explode tank. So by explode in this case, I meant pieces, parts, not, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the credit cards are not engulfed in flame, but there is no more. That van is a loss.
How far away is it? I mean, clearly we're going to have to go get it.
About 203 yards.
It's those last 3 yards that are a real pain in the ass.
I know, right?
I'll go. Stay here.
So
Be sneaky-like.
I'm pretty sneaky.
Incognitus.
Are you describing like a Wile E. Coyote move?
So
right.
those of you at the top of the stairs, you would at least look inside and you see, what you don't see is the whole horde of ghouls everywhere that you may have been expecting. Obviously it's dark in here. You're seeing some remains, like you think there were some ghouls in here that were killed. Like there's lumps of rotten, bodies. But again, nothing nowhere near the numbers you were expecting. Okay, so you go out. You are going to run for the van. Give me a run check. You're down a die, Erik, because you've got. Erik has a permanent wound. He'd had a chunk taken out of one of his legs.
By a
He's
ghoul.
got a limping hobble. Oh yeah, it was a ghoul. That's right.
I made it.
Okay, well you go with purpose, and make a notice check, please.
Oh shit. Yep.
Okay, so you're looking back, and you're on the ground level because you've got the sky, the jetway going up that way. And the ground level would be where all the inns were for the bags or whatever. Looking straight across, like you would be, you see some movement in a couple of the windows on the lower level, but it's not always at ground level. Like you're pretty sure something is like clinging to the ceiling. And there are several somethings down there.
All right, so
ghouls don't move like that.
Okay, so I grabbed the credit cards right there.
Yeah, it's fine. The satchel didn't even open.
Cool. And then run back.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's your forehead.
Good news, bad news situation. I'm going to go with good news first because it doesn't work dramatically the other way.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
The good news is that there doesn't seem to be quite as many ghouls as we thought that there might be.
Oh, that is good news.
Yeah. The bad news is that there's something else and it's real ugly and it's right underneath us and it's clawing up now.
Underneath us?
First floor.
Well, that makes some kind of sense because if you look around, something came through here and clearly cleaned out a large chunk of these ghoulies. So I think it's safe to assume something else has holed up here, whether of the human or inhuman variety.
D, give me a notice check, please.
Okay. We have barely noticed nothing.
Gabe, can you have Gekko give me a notice check, please?
Yes, I can.
You can and you will.
Yeah, this is all terrifying.
If only we had a ghost dog to help us in this situation.
Do you have a Holocaust?
What's this?
So you notice, and this is definitely the kind of thing that Gekko would notice. There's one of the dome cameras up at kind of the cross section of where, like, that's, gate G4, gate G5. And there's here and there were cameras, and this one's the one again that we talked about before that's in the dome. There was an indicator on those. If it's a similar type, you know where the light would be, but someone has gaffer taped over it, and you were perceptive enough to catch the camera moving a little bit in the smoked glass hood, which suggests that someone is watching them.
Just be very cautious. There is definitely someone watching us right now. The camera is active.
Oh, good.
So the question is, do we want to parlay with them, or are we looking to not split our loot at this time?
It's not our loot.
Well, I mean, from my understanding, they don't have access to it, right? Because you need those special doohickeys that Gekko here put together. Could be that if you cut them in on 10% or something, they'll let you take it all easy like. Or it could be that, I have to set them on fire first. Either way.
Ooh, I like the second one a lot.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm a big fan of watching people dance on fire.
My boyfriend lights his head on fire sometimes. So
It is hilarious, and it is a shame that you cannot see it because it is.
Jett, I promise you, any questions you have will not have reasonable answers. I have learned that in the last 24 hours. It's horrifying.
I was debating whether I wanted to burden my soul with that knowledge. So at this time, probably best to refrain. So why don't we take that camera out and try to give them the old razzle dazzle?
Hey, Erik?
Yeah.
You hear noise coming from the left, and it's so there's a sound that crowds make that isn't talking, right? It's like groups moving. There's a very specific, like, if you've ever done security like a stadium, you know what I'm talking about. There's like, it's that kind of a noise, and it's to the left. But it doesn't sound like anything approaching. It doesn't sound like running, but there is, you think, a lot of something to the left.
So there is a whole lot of something over there. I don't know what it is. It is probably not good. I would say best to either avoid or annihilate that entire situation.
Do you want me to punch it?
I mean, I'm not sure that's going to do anything, but you do what you do.
No, I'll wait. It's okay.
Jett, did you order someone to take out the camera? Did I hear that?
Yeah, I think we should disable it.
I'm gonna shoot with my gun.
No need to roll. I think that's a steady enough target that you take it out.
I want to flick it off first. Like, I want them to know I know.
Nice.
Flick it off, and then also the repeat. What that does do, though, is that sound. There's also, once voices become involved, there's like kind of a rolling roar that groups make. So the volume kind of like raises.
It's coming on the left.
Should we hide then on the right?
Probably.
Okay, well, up to the right. And unfortunately, where you want to go for the goods is to your left. To the right, we'll go to the hub, and then down one of the other arms, which are where the other stashes. There are bathrooms up ahead on the left and the right. A little bit further, there is the Golden Admiral Club. So just a little like mini bar, rest and wait area up there. So you can use either one of those to get out of the main news section if you like.
That.
I'll leave some of these decisions to Jett. Jett, you do have the special ability about small unit tactics. So I'll occasionally just give you bonuses to rolls because you're leading.
Okay. Well, do I feel like the Golden Admiral Club, could we all fit behind the bar of it and still be able to look out but be obscured from vision? That seems like a good tactical spot.
Generally,
plus Molotovs if we need them.
Yeah, generally the way those work is they want you to want to be in there, right? So there's usually windows they can see, oh, look, they get foot rubs or whatever. So those are seldom like, there's a second level where they don't want you to see where you go if you're, you know, Matt Damon and want to hide. But the ones that people can aspirationally go, they want windows. So yeah, it's probably fine.
Okay, yeah. I'll go in
So
there.
you
then.
wave them past the bathrooms, because the other problem with the bathroom is maybe defensible because it's a smaller amount of room in, but no way to look out.
No, yeah. There's no vantage there, so.
So you all hustle back. As you go a little bit down the corridor that direction, Erik, the noise isn't getting closer. And that initial like increase in volume that followed the repeat of the gun settles. It gets quieter again.
I don't know if it's just got no good sense, but it doesn't seem to be following us anywhere.
Well, oftentimes when you get a bunch of people together, sense just goes out the window.
Is it? Maybe there's a sound that distracted it, though.
I mean, should we check it out?
Yeah.
Take a look-see.
Okay.
Wow.
All four of you are going to head that direction. Head back. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Clearly, it's a good idea.
Reluctantly.
So I take it Gekko is in the back of the group as they.
Yes.
D is generally, it sounds like, in the front.
Yes.
Okay.
Self-preservation.
So you turn a corner, and again, these are all long swooping arcs of corridor with branches off to the jetways. And then there are little like hubs of like restaurants or bathrooms or, you know, automats. And the automat is where you want to go, Gekko. But as you turn that gentle corner, up ahead are hundreds of ghouls. And you're behind a fence that has been erected, like a barricade fence that's been erected across the corridor. And it has a gate, but the gate is latched. So someone has barricaded them in like cattle.
There's just a lot of like group prisoning today, I guess. You know, just like dogs and now these little ghoulies. I don't know, it's just kind of sad. It's just kind
So your experience with ghouls is if they're underfed, they eventually start to starve and they go into a torpor state where they sort of hibernate. And then
So they're like barely moving and stuff.
right. And then if they hear a loud noise or something, or they sense food, they'll kind of wake up and come back to life. So you're looking at just hundreds of just sort of softly swaying, barely alive ghouls, like just all the way back to gate G4.
Did you say hundreds?
Yeah, I did.
They look like jellyfish.
Jellyfish.
Dancing jellyfish, swaying. Did you
Yeah,
say?
and-
Did you say G4?
I intentionally did say G4.
Thank you.
Yes. And past them is where your automat is.
Oh God.
If we only had some way to eliminate hundreds of ghouls at one time.
Well, I might be able to help with that.
Oh,
So Jett, that's a lot of ghouls. That will be a lot of fuel.
Yeah.
Like you get a few at a time, but burning through even a dozen or two would take most of your fuel and would not. It'd make a dent, but considering to the best of your experience, ghouls don't get scared easily. Like they're not really truly alive, right? So they don't get freaked out. The biggest advantage you get with a flamethrower is if you turn it on people, they go, "Oh fuck no," and they step left, right? Ghouls don't do that. So you think you can melt them again like gummy bears, but you don't think you can melt through all this many gummy bears.
Would it be enough? So let me get this right. Do we need a path through them or a way?
There's gonna be some chase nonsense. That's what's gonna happen. We're gonna try to stealth through. No offense, D. D is going to see something shiny, grab it, and or punch it. Then it's going to cause us to run. Eric's going to be like, oh, I love this game. Start shooting. Jett, I assume you will at some point turn around, have a moment of, well, here we go, and pull out your assumedly torture. And I will be on the other side with my credit cards cheering for all of you. Well, I want to spend my money.
So here's my dream for season 2. We have the German talk about what's coming up, right? We play the first half. We have our bio break. We come back from bio break. Gabe comes on as Gekko and shoots shit about, and here's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because Erik is going to shoot something.
You know what? Don't tempt me. We can talk about that.
Be the funniest shit ever. I do need a 4-die roll from Jett, though.
I'm scared.
I need a saving throw right now.
So Jasmine, you're on it? Looking for a 4-die roll.
Oh, sorry.
It is all right. Okay, that's a partial. So your tactical advice would be, this is going to sound obvious, like you wouldn't need to roll, right? Don't go that way. So either go down to the lower level and go under and around and up, or because you know there's something down there because of what Erik told you, we kind of run a lot of these like they're weird, like independent movies. Like they're clearly all genre movies, right? So what do you do in these situations? It's always the air exchangers, right? So the other option would be find a way into the crawl space for the AC and go over.
I think I would go with the latter option. Be like, listen, if we can get into the HVAC system, we could just make our way up and over the ghoulies. No problem.
That's
in charge.
Oh, I wish I had someone to bet with.
All right. Well, Gekko.
Yes.
You can look at your maps, and because you also have various technical skills, you can find a suitable entryway. You're going to have to climb up. You have the tools to take the panel off. So probably Erik would go first because he's excellently good at climbing. And then you could theoretically go through the crawl space. For an airport, these are big, right? For like a smaller building, these are really hard for a person to crawl across. But an airport, those are, if we were looked at the roofs, the exchangers are huge.
Okay.
So is that the plan all?
I guess
Kind of Jett's
to me.
plan. Yeah. Gekko's the boss, but Jett is nominally in charge here.
That's what I have in mind. What are you all thinking? Is that acceptable?
Sounds good to me.
I'm down.
And I'm assuming you're all keeping your voices a little bit low since you've got hundreds of ghouls like right there. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
You get up, unscrew the panel. You can all get up, especially if you have Erik's help. Erik, this is nothing for a man that climbs up with feet in one hand to the top of telephone poles. You got all kinds of handholds here. So as you're going, you should be one abreast. So you go down this crawl space now, and you will have room. It's not, you can't stand, but there's enough room that you can easily get through it. So who is first?
I lead from the front.
Okay.
I'm right behind her.
Okay, so Jett, D, Erik, and then Gekko. Or do you
Nope,
want
Gekko's going third. I will not be in the back.
Yeah, I'll cover the back.
Okay.
I don't mind covering the back.
Thank you, beautiful Oringa Goblin Man.
Okay. I need Erik to make a notice check.
As in, you notice some nefarious shit happening behind you.
I hope not.
Oh, I noticed the hell out of whatever is about to happen.
So there are, at least in this airport, there are two intercom systems. There's the main overhead intercom that everybody hears, Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard, Dr. Howard, Dr. Fine, that system. And then there's another one that just goes to the kiosks at each of the gates. That's like the employee intercom system. So it's quieter. So since you rolled 8 million sixes, you hear that somebody over that secondary intercom is playing the damned song, The Shadow of Love.
Interesting.
Oh, this man.
Hold up. I hear music. Can I tell the direction it's coming from?
Well, all over, because it's broadcast over.
Oh, right. But it's on the second speakers.
Yeah.
It's on the carrier current, basically.
It's just where the employees would be.
Yeah.
But like all of those, it's all of those. So it's coming from kind of everywhere, but it's quiet.
Why would they be playing music?
Care about the how. I care about the fact that it's happening. Because this is some nonsense that I have seen in books where there's a bunch of people in a horrible basement. There's a whole bunch of nonsense. And someone starts playing ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. And then everything wakes up and it's hell.
Yeah, that seems about right. They're going to wake them up.
I don't want that.
So the volume hasn't raised, and at the current volume, they don't seem to, again, you don't have that roar that when you set off the gun, that obviously roused them. Now, if there is somebody behind that manually, they could theoretically just jack the volume at any time, which would probably wake the ghouls. But they haven't done it.
I have a logistics question. From where we saw the gate that the ghouls were behind before, is there another gate behind that's penning them in, and can we see that? Like, are they enclosed in a circular area, or is there?
You couldn't see far enough to see the other side to see if there was a second gate. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. You want to know if it was just one wall,
right,
or if they were in a pen.
Right.
You couldn't see far enough to see it. If you crawl further along and look down, you should be able to see it. You got to get past it though. You're looking past like a sea of heads.
If they're going to make them follow the noise, we have to make bigger noise first. Jett.
Yeah. What you got in mind?
What if we make a move?
Like a diversion?
Yeah.
Pull them in a different direction?
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to the idea, just kind of wondering how exactly we go about doing that.
Well, I got something real loud in my backpack.
Like this whole time?
Yeah. It's a shotgun that I carry with me that you can see at literally every moment of my life.
Right. But like with the shotgun, they'll come. Okay.
I like seeing the calculation happen on your face.
I think we're on the same page of the dog freezing pamphlet, as it were.
Jett, you really picked up on this way faster than I did, to be honest.
So this means you're hiring the right people. So if the GM is getting the plan right, you do have to crawl far enough forward to get them past where you want to go, so you can make a big noise with your secondary gun to pull them towards it.
Exactly.
If somebody stay back and you want to drop your employer down into the pen full of terrible monsters, right? Cool.
That's about right.
Yeah.
And D, by the way, he was talking about literally a shotgun. He's a shotgun and a rifle. Karen is taller than he is. The shotgun, I assume, to be able to carry it casually like you do, it's probably you can tell I'm a not gun guy. The
barrel stock. Oh, the stock.
Stock would be short. It would be short stock, so that you can. I understand if you're short stock, you can literally just put even like a rope on it and just hang it over your shoulder. Like you don't want it to be 3.5 feet long if it's your backup weapon. So anyway, but it does make a hell of a lot of noise. Shotguns do that. All right, so I do need Jett. No roll because there's no way you're going to miss this. Going forward, from time to time, there is a side passage. Most of them go a little bit to the side and then up, which is probably towards the exchangers, which aren't working. So you can't tell whether these are intake or outtake because there's no air circulation right now since they're turned off. Here and there, there'll be one that goes to the left, and there'll be a grate, and you're looking for one that you probably keep checking each one. You'll look out. Yep, still ghoul heads. And I'm assuming what you want is we pass the ghoul heads to pull them away. That hasn't happened. Here and there, there'll be one on the ground. And they'll be like, oh, this one leads to a bathroom. Or this one, right? It's like this is a employee break room. So there are other options of places to go within this system. After about 5 minutes of this, so you haven't gone all that far, 5 minutes crawling. Jett, you see up ahead what looks like at first a discarded raincoat, but it's not. It's actually one of those empty skin husks.
What is with? Do I have any clue? Is this like a tradition of a local gang, or do I have any clue what this could be?
You're not a beast mastery person or a medicine person.
Yeah.
What it is spooky. You take a look at it. Give me a notice check. Let's see if you happen to notice anything.
That's 5. Nope.
But 5 is a near miss.
Mm-hmm.
The husk is ripped in the neck. So there's a little bit of like a pop top juice box.
Oh, wait, you mean like torn, not like buff?
Yeah.
I do. I mean torn.
Okay.
No, it's got a real. It's.
Yo, I was like, I actually hate this.
It's got a badass neck.
Yeah.
Who's the lead singer of Black Flag, Mike?
I don't mess with that if that's the case. You don't mess with that.
Rollins.
Henry Rollins, yeah.
So it's just a husk, but it's got like a Henry Rollins neck. No, it's
mess with that.
Ripped. So that's really all you see. Like there's a strange, like this part of the skin is just torn down. And you go a little bit farther, and I need from Jett an awareness check.
Okay.
This is the do I notice the thing that might surprise me kind of check.
Oh.
Okay, that's
barely.
That's a near miss. So coming around a corner is a creature that looks like a 6-armed ghoul, except it's 6-limbed. So the limbs are neither hand nor foot. My understanding is only sloths are like this, where a limb can be either a hand or a foot as needed. Its flesh is translucent, just like most ghouls, but the organs and blood have turned black. So it's like looking at something where, like, the Visible Man, like it's a very strange and horrific arrangement. As it comes around the corner towards you, gripping the ceiling, you see the bottom part of its face is missing. There's no lower jaw. And the tongue, which is about 2.5 feet long, is just lolling out. And the end of it has a lamprey-like mouth.
Wow.
That's great, honestly.
I will need a speed roll from Jett. So you roll a number of dice equal to your speed, and then like everything else in the damn system, you just add them together, which should happen automatically in the dice roll. So you've got a 13. The only person who could probably react to that quickly enough for it to make a difference would be D, because D's right behind you. So D, go ahead and give me a speed roll. D's got pretty good reaction time.
D, the character does. Hold on. Okay. Oh.
Yes, but we all love Danielle and have infinite patience, so don't worry about it.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's more than 13. That's 32. So D, you also see this thing. So the thing turns around, the tongue goes like that, and it lurches forwards towards Jett. You can react first if you like, and there is just enough room in the tunnel that you could get past Jett if Jett is okay with you going past Jett. You would have to have, permission is everything. Yeah, Jett would have to say it's okay. Otherwise, like, Jett's kind of in your way.
Right. Jett, is it okay if I jump in front of you?
Of course, yeah.
Great. Then
I feel like in character, I'd just be standing there like, what the?
Yeah,
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead.
When you look down, Jett is like kind of dazed, and you, what do you do?
I'm gonna go ahead and aggressive stance and
So she strikes a martial arts pose, although it's crouched.
And attack it if I can.
Crouching D, messed up fuckface.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and make your brawl.
Great. Any kind of bonuses or no?
Nope.
Okay. Couple ass. Nope. Oh wait, partial.
So you're gonna get to do your damage, and you're gonna do half the results. So go ahead and roll your dice.
For brawl, right?
No, it's under your weapons unarmed.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I see it.
Yeah, lower right hand side of the sheet. What's your crit number?
3. Yeah.
Okay. So re-roll that 6.
Okay. Ooh, 2 crits and that 1 6.
Well, there's only one crit. You rolled a 6, so that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's going to be all right. So she engages it in hand-to-hand combat. So you hit it, and unlike the ghouls, instead of being like kind of a gummy beer is the wrong texture. You know those things that have the liquid in them that everybody played with in grade school?
Yeah.
They burst and have the little like sparkly stars in them.
Yeah.
Those are like that. This thing, when you hit it, it's like hitting a tire. Like whatever that stuff it's made of has become a lot tougher. So you hit it and it kind of makes a thump sound. It responds by trying to shoot out its tongue at you. And it misses.
Yeah, it does.
Give me a initiative, Erik. So roll your speed dice.
Yes, sir.
Good Lord, man.
29.
And Gekko, what you got?
Let's see. Oh, it didn't actually roll. That makes way more sense. I was like, I don't have a number there. Okay, now we try it again. Do my thing. There we go. That time it worked. 21.
Okay. So Gekko and Erik, you see this fight going on. Erik, you're next. Do you want to try to, you could theoretically try to shoot through all those people in the way, but you take away at least to die.
I mean, I have a handgun as well.
Same.
Yeah.
I have to care about people.
You just want to take a shot with the handgun?
Yeah, I'll take a shot with the handgun.
Okay, go ahead and do your shoot.
I want to do the same, but I want to like shoot above Eric's head, so we're kind of like trying to shoot in unison.
Right. So you have that like staggered.
Yes.
So go ahead, Erik first, and then when he's resolved, we'll do Gekko.
Cool.
Nope. I rolled a lot of 4s.
Okay, so Gekko, you're up. Well, it's it's not your lady.
No, it's not.
Okay. And that's just the shoot skill. Okay.
Yes, please.
Oh my God.
You hit.
6221. Okay.
So roll your damage, which is I think 4 dice with a pistol.
Let me do 3 dice.
Oh yeah, you have a hold out pistol. That's right.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay.
So that is 10.
So that's going to be no. This is individually. Each die is compared to the
okay.
armor of the creature. The armor for this thing is 3 against firearms, so you do 2 points.
Cool.
All right, and Jett, you're at the bottom of the round. All this is kind of happening around you. Make a notice check. There's more coming.
From which direction? Behind
So you're
us?
going this way, and there've been branches left and right. This one came from branch to the right, came around, went to fight D. There's more coming from there.
From the right, not from the left?
From the right.
Okay. I'm going to tell them, we got to go to the left now. And I'm going to start going down the left, but also shoot behind over my shoulder to try to free them up as I go.
The only problem is going to the left at this point gets you out into the hallway with all the ghouls. Now, if you run back, or you can hold the hallway, you can go to the last to the right, and that opens up on an employee restroom. You can drop through the floor there.
Oh, that. Okay, yeah. I'll start back.
You have to get back about 50 yards.
I'm going to start backing up, and I'm going to let my auto pistol just kind of go in the direction of the beast that Dee's fighting to try to free her up so she can retreat with us. And I'll say it to everybody. I'll be like, retreat, fall back.
Yep.
All right. So you're going to fire it on auto. On auto, it's easier for guns to jam, but if you get a partial success, it's counted as a hit because you're auto firing. So go ahead and roll your shoots. Sorry?
Yeah, I'm gonna fire it on auto because the situation's a bit desperate.
Yeah, it also seemed like narratively, like you were like, oh, yeah. So go ahead and give me the shoot test, please.
Really happy I chose auto now.
There you go. And then roll your damage, and that's I think it's 4 dice. It's on the right hand side of your sheet on the weapons summary.
Yeah, it says 4.
Okay. Holy shit. And then it's a crit of 3, so that's 1, 2, 3, 6. That's 9 points. Now you re-roll those 2 6s because it's exploding damage. So
where has Jett been this whole time?
Right.
Okay. So I do a thing with games I run where I don't tell you the numbers of things because we don't have stuff over our heads. I use green, yellow, red. So if something's green, it's got most of its hits. If something's yellow, it has about half. If it's red, probably one more hit will take it out. You just took it to yellow. So thing, you're firing at it, and D is like smashing it, and it's only now yellow. So these things are bad. Now, am I taking it as red here, that you're listening to Jett and you're doing a fighting retreat?
Yes.
So Jett, you have an ability called lead. The way lead works, as long as people are listening to you, you can pick one person at a time. And then once around, if they roll a 3, it's I don't remember if it's a reroll or if it counts as a hit, but I can find out for you right quick. You'd think I know, right?
Now it's just for.
I loved having a better memory. It was amazing. Okay. If one person you're actively leading who can hear your instructions and is willing to follow them, may re-roll any 3s that comes up when making a test, initial roll only. So for example, if you lead D, when D is rolling to hit, they'll get to re-roll any 3s they roll, which is super useful.
Sorry.
So do you want to, you can lead anybody though. So do you want to start giving orders?
Yeah. I'm going to tell D to focus on incapacitating it since it looks like it's pretty, go. I'll be like, go for the leg joints and then fall back.
All right.
Aye, Captain.
Erik, you're the next one up. You want to try to shoot past as you pull back?
Yes. I'm going to try it again.
All right.
That's more successful.
Hit damage.
All right.
The pistol's 4. This is your pistol. Was that Karen?
That was the Karen, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's going to do a lot more. 1, 2, 3. That's 6. Reroll the 6.
Nope.
Okay. It is now red. Make a notice check.
Me?
Yes, please.
All right. Oh, why couldn't I hit with that?
One thing that I should remind people of, because those of us that have been playing this for a while missed this rule because it wasn't in until shortly before publication. But if you have extra 6s and you don't use them for anything in combat, every loose extra success will do +1 damage. If you're a weapon specialist, it'll do +2 damage. I'll keep track of that for you, though. So what you notice with the perception is the ghouls have been roused, right? You're doing a lot of firing, so they are literally not just shuffling around. Now you hear like it's getting very loud coming from your left. And that ghoul, that creature, whatever it is nearly out. D. It's nearly down. Do you want to try to take it out with your?
Is it my turn?
Not yet.
Oh, I guess I'll get Debo's. Okay.
Yeah, you're with people that are much faster, unfortunately.
Okay.
Or fortunately.
Partial?
Right.
Oh yeah,
True.
totally. Partial counts. So go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay.
No.
No.
That is not great. So,
No, it's not.
and at this point, Gekko, you're up.
All right. Now I'm going to shoot my pistol.
Okay.
Do
Go
it.
ahead.
Let's go. Okay, so that's 46. We'll just roll that.
Oh,
Two
all right.
sixes.
So go roll your damage, and you're gonna get a +1 because of the extra 6.
Okay.
Not +1 die, +1 damage. Wow, that's not great because it means you only do that. That's enough though. So you take it out, and it drops to the ground and starts oozing that black Icarus blood.
Disgusting.
4 more are entering that tunnel. Are you all fuck this and noping back the tunnel?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So there's a very short chase scene while these things are running. D, they will have the best chance at pulling out if someone holds the tunnel.
Okay, I'll do that.
So go ahead and I'm going to break strict initiative here. Go ahead and give me another attack roll, D.
Brawl melee?
Yes, please.
Okay. Ooh.
Oh,
why?
my.
Wait, can I re-roll it? Look at that one dice.
It's mocking you. Gekko, give me a hack roll, please.
Ooh, you said a hack?
Yes, please.
I'm
Wait,
good
but
at that
does she
one.
get to re-roll the 3 because
Hang on. Excellent point, Jett.
because I told her to do that?
Yeah. So re-roll that 1 die.
Okay.
Just put 1d6 in there.
Oh!
No, so it still counts. So roll your damage.
Okay.
What's up?
Thank you.
Good call. All right. And so what was the hack?
I didn't roll it yet because I was waiting.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
You
1,
hacked
6,
it.
3, 5. Yep.
So it sounds
Boom.
to me like Jett is helping, D stay in one piece and is leading. Erik is kind of watching the approach. So you see, as you fall back, you cover Gekko as he goes to the right, and he's got his like little portable Makita, and he's taken the grill out so you can get down. So this round, he's clearing your escape. So at this point is the not great part where they get to team attack you. So the problem here is, unlike you that's stuck with going along the ground mostly, they are clinging to the walls, and they have tongues that can attack about 7 feet. So they are all able to attack you. But the way this is resolved is with 1 attack roll. That's going to be a hit. So that tongue with the lamprey mouth hits you and begins sucking blood out of you.
Disgusting.
So disgusting.
You're going to take, what is your E defense?
Me?
Is that Gekko?
No, this is for D. Yeah,
Okay.
you didn't get attacked, thank God.
Just making sure.
Sorry, what was that?
Your E defense is the one on it's the rightmost value on your armor.
Rightmost value.
Right side of the sheet, lower right hand side.
Thank you.
No problem.
I'm so sorry. I literally don't see it anywhere.
We're going to say that's 2 points of damage.
Great.
And the reason it's resolved as E damage is it's a little aliens-ish in that it's dissolving your armor. So you end up like a little welt on your skin.
Oh, no.
So D holds the hall. Gekko opens the panel. So the group is going to try to drop down, get past.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the only problem here is going to be D. Do you want to do an evade, maybe?
Yeah.
To get free? Okay, give me an evade check, please. There it is.
Oh, no, I got it.
There it is. Okay, so the whole party, Gekko presumably yells, "Got it." Everybody runs back, drops down into the employee restroom. Something like that. The creatures do not pursue.
I wonder if there's something else that caught their attention.
I don't know. I'm just glad.
That's actually very concerning.
I would like to shoot a whole bunch of things.
So I need a notice check from Erik.
Let's see if I notice some things I can shoot.
You know, Erik keeps 100. I respect that.
I have noticed.
So you hear the music. It's distant because it's at those stations or outside the employee area in the main hall. But because you did pick it up, you know what you're listening to. Right now, the music stops and then changes to Level Terrace Apart.
Do I notice anything? First of all, I am enthralled with the drum beat that sounds like somebody was left on a roof for 2 days. But do I notice anything creature-wise that comes with the change of the music?
No, although the ghouls are outside. Now, if you're right, although you didn't have a chance to confirm, you didn't get all the way past, you're near the other side of the ghoul pack. So in theory, you could try to blast your way through so that Gekko can get out and do what he needs to do. So this might be the time where Karen and the flamethrower could actually make them clear a path, basically, because you went over past most of it.
So I kind of turn to Jett and be like, look, I'm just making a suggestion here, but it looks like if we don't start breaking out the heavy artillery, we're going to be running from these things all day.
I don't think we have enough heavy artillery to dispatch them effectively. I think our best shot might be to grab the loot and scoot.
We got to get to it, though.
What about that diversion you were talking about, though? What if we got control of this musical system somehow and strategically turned on a speaker phone? I'm not Gekko. You're better with that stuff. I don't
Gekko,
know.
what she's saying is probably possible. What you would want is access to whatever this system is, right? So you want to go to one of those counters, or if this is an employee area, see if there's a computer terminal in here, and see if we can make that happen.
So if that's going to be the case, I need to find a computer that I can actually work with, and I will happily make do with whatever we can find. But we have to find something, and I cannot very well shoot and type at the same time. So,
Well, me and Erik will take care of the shooting then.
Glad to help.
Okay, so as the group heads out into the employee break room, and we see him go behind. There's a little concierge desk, kind of an area that has a console, and you probably pray to whatever gods, goddesses, or whatever you believe in. Turn that sucker on. It does power up, and it's connected. So we'll turn the camera and then go through the wall to see the hundreds of ghouls outside. And we're going to take that point to take our bio break. So let's take 5 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll devour the party. The team has dropped down into the employee lounge through the employee restroom. Gekko, let me have a hack roll from you.
Good. I'm not gonna say I'm good at this. I've said that before. You've seen how that goes.
Don't want to jinx it, yeah.
Why do I always check it? It's always a 4. I know it's a 4. It's a 4 every time, Gabe. 5, 4, 3, 2. Great.
So you, with the partial success, you get this.
Okay, that's true.
This does not connect to the network you need. So you think you need to get out to one of those kiosk stands for check-in and then do this there. Like, this is not part of that subnet.
I think I might actually need a different computer closer to the check-in, if that is possible.
What exactly lies between Gekko and a kiosk computer?
Yeah, about 40 ghouls.
I believe we can handle 40 ghouls.
Or
I believe we can too.
Yeah, and you'd have to carve through them and then do a fighting retreat, because the others are going to run your direction.
Right. The problem here is noise.
Yes. Now the flamer won't make all that much noise.
From experience, how quickly can a flamer dispatch one of these?
You've not killed ghouls with it, sadly.
Yeah, so
The rumor did not be all that tough. Yeah. Your other option is try to find a way back down or up. Like, now that you know that there's something up that might be lurking, you're farther enough away from where you were before that you could try the other way and try to go to the first floor, go over, and go back up.
I would rather deal with a known quantity than an unknown quantity.
Fair.
Erik, do you have any more quiet weapons to bring to bear against those ghoulies?
I have a stabber.
All right. So I'll lay down some suppressing fire, and let's try to do this quiet like, yeah?
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Into it.
I'm going to lay down literal suppressing fire.
Okay. So the party heads out. You head out into the main quarter, and the airport quarters are like 3 highway lanes across, basically. So they're, what is that, about 50 feet, something like that. And there are 3 roaming ghouls, and they're active, but they're not particularly attentive, right? So they're no longer torpid. So they're kind of stagger wandering around the area.
So they're not all bunched up.
When they come out, they do react, but I'm assuming you respond with whoosh, burn, die, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not going to make this rolls for that. I think this makes the most sense to be a cinematic sequence where there are bursts of fire from the flamer and Jett like waving you past. And it sounds like Erik and Dee have Jett's back. So if anyone tries to get to the flamer or get around, you stop them from getting anywhere near her. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so that means a lot lies on Gekko, because you have to run past after she melts. And they do. They melt like gummy bears full of organs and bones. So they kind of slush down with like protruding bones, and it's just terrible. So you're going to run past the next kiosk. Give me a run test.
Run. Oh, that is a skill. Neat. 4, 4, 2, 1.
Okay. So he trips He
Wait,
could
isn't
be
there a thing
going
about just
faster.
speeding?
Yeah, 4421 is a failure, sadly. So he trips, and he's not getting past as fast as you'd like. I'm gonna get. I'm not gonna have you roll because I know what the two of you are gonna do. No damage was gonna go to Jett because you would be able to take it off her. But I'm gonna take a couple of whacks at the two of you. See if you come out with any damage. D, go ahead and take 5 hits, please.
Wow.
Hey,
Wait, like what? 5 hits?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you should be able to cover that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And 2 points to Erik, please. Okay.
Alright.
And just for a sense of how you're doing, because this is not in strict rounds or strict points. I'm just making sure there's some cumulative damage where necessary. Let's have a shoot test from Jett.
Okay.
I'm picturing the scene from Inglourious Bastards, where Shoshana has she's got the flamethrower and she's kind of got that grin on her face.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a partial.
So again, I'm not seeing great, but I'm seeing good. So this is definitely not just, I'll hold them, I'll run over there and it's done. Boom. This is a hard fought, having to pull them off her. So at this point, Gekko gets to the little kiosk. Hack roll, please.
is it hack?
Yep.
Okay,
4 dice.
got it. Oh my gosh.
Okay. You are about
It's a small straight though.
to touch the keyboard.
Mhm.
The intercom says, colder.
I hate you.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I hate you.
Do you say I hate you and hit the
Loud?
intercom? Do you respond?
Yes.
So the voice responds to I hate you with, why are you here?
I'm here because I have something I want here. I want to get into those machines.
Okay, I need an evade roll from D.
Okay.
So you're using your martial arts to pull critters off a Jett. Let's see if you can avoid some damage to yourself.
No.
You do not avoid damage to yourself. You're going to take 4 more hits, please.
All right.
Erik, evade roll, please.
Yes, sir. Oof. I do not.
You're going to take 5 hits. Jett, shoot roll, please. Okay. So that buys you, I won't hit roll damage. That buys you a little time. So she lays down a really nice stream of death, and they pull back a little bit. So Gekko.
Can I use my lead to help Gekko out here and be like, Gekko, things are getting a little rough if you don't mind just.
Oh, just hurry up. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the voice says, you just want drinks?
I mean, there are drinks in the machines, right?
You haven't seen me. They're right over there though. There's a whole bank, and the ones that you're really interested in are next to it. Like there's literally one that says personal electronics, you know. So that
That's
box
some of
over
what I
there-
want. Yes. That's part of what I want. Yes.
The voice says, leave me the cute one with the silver lipstick, and you can have anything you want.
Which one is that?
D.
Oh. To be honest, I don't think I have much influence over that. just gonna keep hacking now. Like
That was funny.
At this point, over the main system, a loud warbling noise, very loud, is broadcast. It disorients the ghouls. So you can pull back if you want to, because they're not advancing anymore.
So what you're saying is I have time to hack.
Hack.
Go ahead and give me a hack minus 2 dice. Your 2 dice down.
Okay.
Yes.
Woo!
Wow. Okay, the 2 dice is because you're literally 1980s sexy combat hacking now. Somebody was actually opposing your hack, but you made the roll despite the 2 dice down. So somebody tried to shut you out of the system.
Mm-hmm.
So your goal was to use a distraction to make noise further that way to pull them away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you end up overriding that warbling noise, and you can turn on the just regular alarms further up the corridor, the direction you want them to go.
Let's do it.
Okay. So the warbling stops, and then a loud, the off that direction. They become kind of soundotropic, and they go staggering over that direction.
Mm-hmm.
So now the party is free in the hallway with a whole bunch of dead, flaming gummy bear dead ghouls. And right up ahead is the prize, which Gekko's kind of jogging over towards. And there is a row of automatic vending machines.
Baby, I'm home. Pull out. So it's that really like stupid TV show credit card moment of like there's a credit card in between all of my fingers, and it's
You're like the Wolverine of credit cards.
yes.
Oh, I love it.
Let's do some business.
So you pick something out. There's a luggage machine. There's personal electronics. There's for the traveler that has white meds and like replacement batteries and stuff you'd want for traveling. All the stuff that would have had food in it, those are legit empty. The funny thing, they were emptied by people buying things. They were never reloaded.
Mm-hmm.
These other ones still have stock because nobody came in here and the computer shut down. There is more than your group could carry.
Yeah.
And you have like foldable, like swag bag sacks. You have plenty of them because you'd have them with you. So you start picking stuff out and
get as much as I can, hand it to everyone else. To the victory and the spoils.
roll a d6 and do not roll a 2, please.
A d6 and do not roll a 2.
Yeah, it'd be great if you didn't roll a 2.
I bet you it's a 4. Nope, it's 1. I lied. I thought I had the sight. I was wrong.
So you cross your fingers and boop, and there's a tense moment, and it runs the transaction, and 100 years later, you legitimately buy basically a music book, a little iPad-like thing, and it processes and goes through the thing and chook. So what you discover is your scheme works. You now have tens of thousands of dollars worth of credit cards of money that doesn't exist that will work to buy things from these machines. But if you've ever bought things from machines like this, it is not a fast process. And the added thing is they can't do it for you because you have to spoof the credit card PIN numbers. So when you're doing it, you have to use their swiper, and your swiper is to do the thing, swiper, stop swiping, to get past the PIN. Because you don't have, 500 PIN numbers in that bag. But you can do it, but you're going to be shopping for about 45 minutes.
Worth it. I'm stupid. I have everything I wanted now.
I don't know what he's doing. I'm gonna ask him for a couple batteries. Like, hey, can you give me a couple of them D cells and that travel?
What are you talking about?
The D cells and that the big ones and the in this one here, in this machine next to that, and also that neck pillow. That looks like it would be so cozy on me.
You know what, Jett? You know what? I give you 2. Go buy yourself something nice.
Aw. Treat yourself, day.
Treat
Can
yourself.
A man walking down the tunnel from the other direction.
I raise my shotgun at him immediately.
Point my pistol. Don't you dare.
Puts up his hands. He balding, middle age. He's wearing a lab coat over a casual suit. So it kind of looks like a hospital administrator type. And he stops, but then starts moving forward slowly.
What's up, Mr. Business? What you want?
I thought I'd come and say hello.
Goodbye.
Who you saying hi to? What's your name?
John Stewart.
I hate you.
Oh,
That's Gabe.
you.
You,
This was the voice on the intercom for sure.
You know what? It's actually in character and out of character. One, you said John Stewart, so Gabe was like, "Don't you dare make me fight the
Not
Gabe."
John Stewart, John Stewart.
Oh, okay.
I love John Stewart.
Yeah, okay, cool. That fine.
I love John Stewart. He gave us Alaska.
And it's the same guy.
Seward's Folly.
Yeah. You have to yes and, right? So Jett, give me a notice roll, please.
Oh no.
What happened?
I don't know if Jasmine knew I meant her.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
I'm not used to answering to Jett.
I'm looking for a notice check.
Notice check, my bad.
Yeah.
Okay, 5.
There
Oh,
you
there
go.
we go.
First thing, he's wearing sunglasses, which is a little odd inside. 2, his skin looks strange. Like it kind of has the same translucent quality the ghouls did, but it's the right color. It's almost like a second skin. It's a strange looking color. Also, when he's walking, his movements are disturbingly fluid.
There's something off about this feller. There's just something a little off about this individual in particular.
So what?
I got the shot. I'll take the shot.
What do you think Gekko's handle would have been electronically? Is it Gekko? Acid burn?
I like acid burn. No, acid reflux.
Reflux. We'll just use reflux.
Yeah, reflux.
Okay. So he turns to Gekko and says, reflux.
Why do you know that name?
You're the one that attacked the system, right?
Yes, I am.
And you came here for the toys in the boxes?
Yes, I did.
So our people, we run this place now. And we don't care much about toys in boxes. And we control the hangars with the cargo planes. So if you think there's a lot in those boxes, there's a lot more in those cargo planes.
You're playing to my desires and I don't like it.
Well, I'm offering you a job.
What's the...
I
Does it
tried.
have to do with that big nasty thing that was in the sky?
No, those damn things. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
We call them terror birds, and occasionally they drop down and they grabs something big, and yeah, it's just annoying.
Okay, tell me more.
You have technical skill. I tried to kick you out of the system, and you kicked me out.
Yes, I
That's
did.
good. There are fairly few of us that have technical skill like yours. I'd very much like to get at least one of those vehicles running again.
I mean, I can probably get it running, but driving is that this person had to drive me around, and I'd point to Jett.
Well, we found a pilot.
How much?
I have no problem with you cleaning out these machines and any like them in the complex, and I can find more for you in the hangar.
I'm in.
Excellent. He walks a little closer, and you see, again, kind of picture someone's skin being like a Rorschach mask,
Ah,
the pigment floating between layers. So his face looks great 20, 30 feet away. When he gets closer, it's like the pigment is moving underneath the outer surface of the skin. You think he is for lack of a better term, like an evolved ghoul.
oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, sign me up.
We would prefer people continue to stay away from the airport. Do you mind if we kill them?
Well, let me make a retort. If you don't kill them, they can spread word of people to not come here. If they die, people might get curious and come investigate. Like me.
It is an excellent point. And he turns to Jett, who's probably in the front of the three of you. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
So he lets the flesh kind of go away, revealing that on the inside, it's all black, like the creatures in the tunnels. It looks like he evolved from them.
Ooh.
And when you kind of get that in your head, the way he's moving, you're not sure he has kneecaps. So like his legs would be super fluid, like walking on tentacles.
Mm.
So if we hire your friend here to escort the rest of you to the edge of the airport, you would report that the Reborn had taken control and that no one in their right mind should come here.
Yeah, we
Well,
might do that.
yeah, this is just a job for me. I'm not trying to die or fight. Like, as long as I get paid, I'll go tell them there's a bunch of magical ponies posted up in here. Like, I don't really care.
He laughs, which makes an unsettling, like, liquid noise because his throat isn't built right. Excellent. And you're not from Austin, right?
Me? No.
So the four of you don't particularly care that we hunt there?
Hunt what exactly?
I was hungry for a very long time. We all were. Some of us became hunters. You met my cousins in the tunnels. If you eat enough, you eventually wake up. I hunted.
All right, let me make a counter proposal. There's an area called the Shire. The Shire's off limits.
Is it a large area?
Doesn't matter. And it's not a question.
It's an easier decision if it's a small area.
It's an
It's not
area.
too big. It's not like a major town or anything.
The Shire, they have no intention of going to the airport?
Not that I'm aware of, and we'll keep them from it.
I don't see any issue with that. I hunted Seward. I consumed him, and now I can wear him. The one thing we don't have here at the airport is new faces, new memories. We have all the
Brad,
food
so-
we could want.
I'm not sure that. I think the less we know about whatever y'all are doing with your food is probably the better. Because the more you're talking, the more I'm like, should I be concerned?
Well, the reason of sharing more is I want you to be terrified.
Oh, well, I mean, you had that covered with the multiple leg situation and the giant tongue with the mouth situation. Like that basically had that covered.
All right. I will admit I wasn't expecting you to be quite this sensible.
I mean, you don't survive around these parts for as long as I have without being at least somewhat pragmatic about these types of situations and a little open-minded, if I don't mind saying so myself.
So you see another half a dozen humanoids coming down
Oh.
the hallway from where he came,
Don't like that.
and they're all
Party.
different people, and you think they're like him. So they're all
Oh, okay.
weird and moving strangely, but there's like a fireman and like a hot dog vendor. They're just like random people, but they're all moving with the same strange liquid grace. Well, Reflux, we thank you. We saw the creature drop the van that you came in. There are emergency vehicles here. We could surrender one of those to you. Would that suffice for you to leave?
Yeah.
We have a spare
I can
ambulance.
drive an. Yeah, I can drive an ambulance.
Oh,
Excellent.
now.
All right. So, and he turns to Erik. You will ensure the Shire will stay well clear, because if you do, we will do the same.
I will ensure it.
All right. Say goodbye, Reflux.
Take care, y'all.
You too. Stay safe.
I toss each I toss another credit card to each of them. So technically Jett has 3.
Whee!
So you can do some shopping at the machines.
On the way out.
I'm already wearing a neck pillow.
Nice. This is the one that has like the little speaker in it.
I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
All right.
come and give him one last kiss on the forehead.
Aw.
I'll see you again, man.
I do not doubt that at all. You are stubborn.
I'm gonna miss protecting you and running in front of you while you get scared.
I have no doubt that I will see you again because you just don't die.
Nope.
See that right there. That was terrifying. That was more terrifying than the ghouls.
Yay.
One of Seward's companions, a young woman who's dressed like a aerobics instructor.
Mhm.
I can show you to the ambulance. Come this way. The ghouls won't bother you.
All right.
And she kind of pets one's head on the way by.
Oh,
What the hell?
So the 3 of you are led out into a side building where a bunch of the emergency stuff is kept. And there's more of these There are a couple dozen of these. They call themselves Reborn. I'm just going to go ahead and call them vampires at this point. It's about a couple dozen vampires here. And you get into the ambulance and you pull away. We'll cut back to Seward taking Gekko to one of the hangars. I was convinced that we would be wearing you by the end of the day. I'm glad we're not.
Yeah, me too. Because it'd get really cramped in there, to be honest.
Well, when we consume someone, we end up with most of what they were, but it's not the same. You'll be the best you can be. So having to not steal what you have to trade for it is much better.
Agreed.
So they open the big doors to the hangar, and you see a vectored thrust vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And again, there's more of these creatures around. And everywhere there's dark places, there's those four-limbed things kind of skittering around in the shadows.
Yeah.
We think we have it mechanically ready. We can't quite get the computer systems online. With your help, we should be able to go somewhere where no one will know we even exist.
Here's to a very fruitful friendship and relationship, I suppose, then.
It's time for us to get out of the red zone.
Whee!
Agreed.
You will be a great boon to our species.
God, this is so creepy, but yeah, sure, I'm down. Whatever.
We will make sure you profit thereby. Have no fear.
Hell. Would you consider yourself like attractive amongst your species? Just curious.
You can't ask him that.
We are attracted to force of will. He opens his chute jacket and he becomes fluid. They apparently are able to manipulate their bodies fully. So unlike the midpoint, which they call hunters, where they grow 2 extra limbs and then do the thing with the tongue, he turns into like a shaga. Like his eyes come out separately on stalks, his arms become tentacles, and then he goes back into human form.
All right, yeah, I'm in. Let's do this. I'm down.
He puts an arm around you, and this will be the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
You don't have a sister, do you?
He raises an eyebrow and says, "Is a sister strictly necessary?"
Oh?
Camera goes to, somehow there's fluttering curtains in the hangar. There are fluttering curtains. Well, this is going to end earlier than I planned. And this will be the day where Gekko James goes to work for the vampires and helps them disseminate the plague of their newborn species on the wasted world.
Yeah.
Hooray!
That was wild.
And he ends up super duper rich and with a very open-minded boyfriend's the wrong term because he's, oh but Jesus, he's
Liquid friend.
Liquid friend.
gender fluid. He's everything fluid.
Yeah.
So
I'm about it.
he can invent things. All right. Well, Jett, you already paid in advance, and you come out of the thing with an ambulance and a spectral wolf.
I mean, I made out like a bandit.
You really did.
And then they're like, "Oh, are you like you gonna fight it?" I'm like, "No, I already got paid." It's a good thing I didn't answer the intercom because I probably would have been like, "D, y'all, sure, yeah, y'all can have her."
No!
Well, and they literally wanted to eat you. because
I got paid in advance. Like, she's nice. She'd be a great addition to y'all. She would fit it right in there.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Well, there was that moment, the GM moment, where I'm like, they're not going to fight the bad guys, are they?
Man,
Like,
if I wasn't already married to my shotgun.
all right. Well, before we hand this back over, we're going to hand this to Danielle, right?
Oh, is that
Are you doing closing, or are we going to do it with Mike? It sounds like Mike, because you have a deer in the headlights look.
Okay, I'll figure it out.
I want to thank our guests though, and I'll say up front so it doesn't get lost in the I don't know if next week is our last season 1 session, so it'll be your standard cast, and it's 21 to 21. So let's go over to Mr. DeLonzo for the credits.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for coming out and watching tonight. Thanks for the raiders that we got at the last little bit there. That was pretty cool of you guys to show up. And as always, to Qui-Gon Bowers for taking care of our chat moderation, for Andreas Fabis for being our disembodied German individual, for some folks that I actually don't have the information for, but you know who you are. We thank you every week. Thanks to Gabe and to Jasmine for, as always, for being awesome guests. Hopefully we'll see you guys again soon. And until next week for our season 1 finale, we will see you in the wasteland.